So one of the greatest mysteries in the Bumblebee movie is how exactly Optimus Prime escaped the fall of Cybertron. For context, after Ravage disarms him of his ion blaster, Prime gets jumped by dozens of Decepticons, with Soundwave and Shockwave being among them. However, we would unfortunately never get to see how Optimus gets out of this pickle, since it cuts back to Bumblebee. But we know Prime made it out alive since we would later see him on Earth. So the question is, how the heck did he escape? And well, the sequel to Bumblebee, Transformers Rise of the Beast, quite literally holds the key to answering this question. So without further ado, let's figure out how Prime escaped Cybertron.
Stay safe, soldier. I am coming.
Alright, so when we last saw Prime, he was disarmed and surrounded by dozens of Decepticons that were rapidly charging at him. And when I say dozens, I actually mean dozens, since after counting every single Decepticon in this shot, I was able to get a grand total of 46. And though the majority of them are just generic Seekers, Prime would be going up against some pretty heavy hitters, since we can clearly see Shockwave, Soundwave, Ravage, Shatter, and Dropkick. As we know, Prime is disarmed, with his blaster lying on the ground, and as the camera zooms out, we don't see Prime make any effort to pick it back up. Now, at the time, we didn't know for sure if Optimus Prime had any more weapons on his person, since we only saw him with the Ion Blaster. However, it's likely that he did, since based on the weaponry that the other Transformers carried in the film, it appeared to be customary for every Cybertronian to have at least one built-in blaster and blade. This is because we saw Bumblebee, Blitzwing, Dropkick, and Shatter all have built-in blasters, and all of them besides Shatter were shown having built-in blades. However, when Transformers Rise of the Beast dropped roughly 4.5 years after Bumblebee released in theaters, it would be confirmed that Prime did in fact have some other weapons. In the film, we saw him with 2 Energon swords, 2 arm cannons, and 1 Energon axe. So with that said, Optimus Prime was able to escape the fall of Cybertron by having to punch, kick, slice, and blast his way through nearly 50 Decepticons. And since we don't see his Ion Blaster in Rise of the Beasts, it looks like that he had to leave it behind due to the fight. As for how many Decepticons he was able to kill is unknown to us, but we do know for a fact that he did not kill everyone, since Shatter and Dropkick would later be seen alive and well. And an interesting detail that the film gives us is showing that the Decepticon duo are visibly worried when they learn that Prime is coming to Earth.
Prime is coming here.
They're all coming here.
So whatever Prime had to do to win that fight had to truly be something crazy. So now knowing how Prime likely won his fight against 46 Decepticons, we still need to figure out how Prime was able to make his way to Earth. And well, there's a handful of ways that he could have done it. A potential answer I can hear some of you say is that he used a ship to escape. Now, though we haven't officially seen Cybertronians using ships in this new rebooted continuity, we do know that they exist, thanks to a deleted scene from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. In this scene, we see Optimus Prime hunting down a Decepticon named Transit, in order to use his ship so he and the Autobots could leave Earth and retake their battle to Cybertron. Now, though this seems like a good answer as to how he escaped, we actually know that he didn't take a ship. And we know this since Rise of the Beast tells us that the Autobots are trapped on Earth and have absolutely no way to escape, so we can rule out the ship. Now, the most likely answer as to how Prime would have been able to escape would be through the use of an escape pod, which as we know was the mode of transport that the Autobots used to escape Cybertron. Now, the only time we saw escape pods on Cybertron was at Autobot headquarters, which as we know was destroyed by some Seekers, and currently it's unknown to us if escape pods were located anywhere else on Cybertron. However, considering that the Autobots are a rebellion in this continuity, it's likely that they had several other bases scattered throughout the planet. And since RC mentions that she lost contact with their capital, this appears to be the case. Now, since one of the Autobot bases had escape pods, it's fair to assume that other Autobot bases did as well, meaning that Optimus could have made it to another base and used one of the escape pods that were available, allowing him to land on our blue and green marble and make his way to meet up with Bumblebee.